I'm delighted to be speaking to you all today. Scotland was one of the first countries to declare a global climate emergency and to recognise the links between climate change and biodiversity loss. We were the first country to submit a full progress report against the groundbreaking international targets agreed at Aichi, Japan in 2010. I'm really pleased to acknowledge the continuing contribution of Aichi Prefecture in assisting with the development of the Edinburgh process. Subnational governments play a key role in delivering action to address the dual challenges of climate change and biodiversity loss. Scotland has set world-leading climate change targets, and our largest city, Glasgow, of course, will host the Climate Change Conference COP26 next year. I was keen that we also adopt a leadership role on biodiversity as well. That is why when the CBD asked if we would consider hosting a workshop on the contribution of subnational, regional and local governments, I jumped at the chance. We have been delighted to lead that engagement as part of the important process to develop the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework to be agreed at COP15 next May. Parties to the convention formally agree the global framework and targets for biodiversity, but all levels of government, particularly where responsibilities are devolved, as is the case for Scotland, have a central role to play to deliver transformative actions for nature across the coming decade. And that is why the Edinburgh process is so important to ensuring that the voices and views of the subnational constituency are heard and taken into account at every stage of developing the goals, action, targets and monitoring framework to be adopted in Cunningham. I am grateful to the CBD for their willingness to engage the subnational constituency and to our global partners for their partnership in developing the Edinburgh process. And through that process, we have established a new international agreement, the Edinburgh Declaration, which sets out the aims, aspirations and expectations of subnational and local authorities. It celebrates the progress and commitment that has already been shown and the strong desire to build upon previous relevant decisions endorsed by the Convention. All levels of government, including cities, have a key role in translating global and national strategies into real and tangible local actions. Often, the resources to put in place transformative actions for nature, the money, people and infrastructure, are directed at these levels of government. And this may not always be recognised nor properly utilised by central governments. Our consultation shows that 60% of devolved parliaments, local authorities, city governments, etc. are not engaged by their central government counterparts when it comes to planning and reporting on biodiversity. If the current global pandemic has shown us anything, it has shown us just how important nature is to the health and well-being of every single person on the planet. We must work together at all levels of government and reach out to the voluntary and private sectors to ensure a green recovery from COVID-19. In Scotland, we are also guided by just transition principles, making sure that our green recovery is fair and that nobody is left behind. And that is another reason why we're taking up leadership on nature and on climate change. A strong post-2020 global biodiversity framework is one that recognises and includes all levels of government and administration in planning, mainstreaming, communicating and raising awareness, in providing finances and building capacity for implementation, and in enabling knowledge exchange and sharing best practice. We can put in place actions that deliver against multiple outcomes and work across multilateral environmental agreements to bring positive benefits, for example to nature, people's health and well-being, and climate change, whilst addressing the Sustainable Development Goals. The Edinburgh Declaration is our call to central government counterparts to take stronger actions and make bolder decisions across the coming decade. The Declaration is now open for signing by all levels of government and non-governmental supporters and indeed by supportive state parties. It would be remiss of them if they did not grasp this opportunity to recognise their vital role in meeting national targets for biodiversity. The good news from our consultations is that the vast majority of non-central government participants are ready and willing to be involved. I would urge you to reach out and fully engage with your colleagues. This is how we can realise the Convention's vision for this planet of living in harmony with nature. So from Scotland, thank you.